Browns media caught lying on Shedeur Sanders. The Cleveland Browns entered this season with enough drama to power an entire sports network's primetime lineup. The quarterback battle, the high-stakes roster decisions, the public pressure on an organization desperate to redefine its identity. Every storyline was already loaded with tension. But the controversy surrounding Shedeur Sanders took things to a level no one expected. A shockwave hit the football world when reports began circulating across multiple Cleveland-based media platforms claiming that the rookie quarterback had lost the locker room, ignored coaches, and was days away from being benched. The only problem? None of it was true. And within hours, receipts began surfacing. Insiders began contradicting one another. And a quiet storm morphed into a full-blown media credibility crisis. For months, rumors have hovered around Shedeur Sanders like mosquitoes in August. Annoying, persistent, and almost always exaggerated. When the Browns drafted him, skeptics questioned whether he could adjust to the pro game, whether his calm persona translated to leadership, whether his confidence would be misinterpreted as arrogance. But what unfolded in the past week was beyond skepticism. It was calculated misrepresentation. And when the truth emerged, the public began asking the question no franchise ever wants to hear. Why did the media lie, and who benefited from painting Shedeur as the villain? The saga began quietly, almost strategically. A local Cleveland radio host made an unverified claim that Shedeur was butting heads with veterans and was refusing feedback from quarterbacks coach Tom Manning. Within minutes, the narrative spread across social platforms, amplified by blogs hungry for quick clicks and comment wars. Soon, television segments picked up the same storyline. Anonymous sources repeated the same lines word for word, raising eyebrows among media literacy experts who've seen this pattern far too many times. But something felt off. None of Shedeur's teammates gave even the slightest hint of internal conflict. In fact, the rookies and veterans alike consistently praised his football IQ, composure, and protect-the-ball discipline. His receivers lauded his timing. His linemen appreciated his communication. And yet the narrative of a locker room implosion, supposedly centered around Shedeur, kept expanding like wildfire. So the question became clear: where did the lies come from? Days later, the truth surfaced. A Browns team employee, speaking off the record, revealed that multiple pieces of the story were fabricated, entirely, not embellished, not misunderstood, invented. No argument happened. No confrontation took place. The locker room was not divided. Coaches had not lost patience with the rookie. The so-called multiple internal complaints quoted by certain Cleveland beat reporters were nothing more than copy-and-paste fiction meant to stir tension during a ratings slump. By the time the public realized what had happened, the narrative had already spun into full crisis mode. Fans were split. Shedeur Sanders' name was trending on every sports platform. Analysts debated whether the root cause was bias, incompetence, or jealousy. Some pointed fingers at the lingering resentment certain sectors of the media held toward Deion Sanders' larger-than-life presence. Others suggested that anti-rookie sensationalism had simply gone too far. A select few claimed it was sabotage by unnamed individuals hoping to manipulate the quarterback competition in favor of veterans with closer relationships to the media. What couldn't be denied was that Shedeur Sanders had suddenly become the center of a controversy he didn't create. Even as media outlets scrambled to retract their statements, the damage was done. Shedeur stepped onto the practice field the next day with cameras glued to him, commentators speculating on whether he was mentally shaken, and fans waiting to see if the headlines would affect his performance. What followed was a masterclass in composure. Shedeur didn't flinch. He didn't panic. He delivered crisp throws, commanded the offense with total confidence, and showed zero signs of being rattled by the drama swirling around him. But the situation didn't stop with his response. His teammates publicly defended him, something almost never seen in such unified fashion. Wide receiver Elijah Moore called the reports weird. Left tackle Jedrick Wills Jr. criticized the media for creating fake tension. Defensive leaders commented on how the locker room was tighter than ever. The message was clear. Shedeur Sanders wasn't the problem, media dishonesty was. Every franchise deals with internal scrutiny. Every quarterback faces unfair criticism at some point. But fabricating divisive storylines for the sake of clicks crosses a line that erodes trust between teams, players, journalists, and the public. Cleveland reporters didn't just misinterpret facts. They destabilized the public's perception of a rookie trying to earn his place through hard work and professionalism. The fallout from the scandal rippled through local sports journalism circles. Editors demanded explanations. Radio hosts went silent. Blogs quietly deleted posts without issuing corrections. But digital screenshots spread across social platforms like evidence boards in a courtroom. Fans documented every lie. Analysts exposed every inconsistency. It became one of the most talked about sports media fiascos of the season. Beyond the noise, the deeper issue became painfully clear. Many in the Browns media ecosystem have underestimated the Sanders family for years. Deion Sanders' unapologetic charisma, influence, and protective nature have long threatened those who preferred athletes to be quiet, compliant, and uncontroversial. Shedeur's unbothered confidence, strategic mindset, and media-savvy image don't fit the outdated mold that some reporters still cling to. So instead of adapting, certain individuals attempted to shape a narrative that justified their doubts. They failed. If anything, the scandal strengthened Shedeur's standing. Fans rallied behind him. Players praised him. Coaches confirmed his professionalism. And ironically, the lies meant to undermine him ended up fueling greater belief in his potential. As the season progresses, one thing is certain. Shedeur Sanders' journey in Cleveland will not be defined by fabricated headlines. It will be defined by his leadership, his performance, and his ability to rise above chaos designed to derail him. The Browns media may have been caught lying, but Shedeur Sanders was caught doing something far more powerful, remaining unshaken, unbothered, and undeniably in control of his future. The conversation surrounding Shedeur Sanders shifted dramatically after the media scandal broke open. Instead of discussing his mechanics, decision-making, or growing command of the offense, analysts across the country stumbled to address the uncomfortable truth. A portion of the Cleveland sports media had intentionally targeted a rookie quarterback who had done nothing wrong. And when a young athlete becomes the target of manufactured drama, the consequences reach far deeper than a single news cycle. Inside NFL circles, players and coaches quietly acknowledged what fans had already suspected. This wasn't standard criticism, or even normal rookie hazing from the press. It was personal. It was engineered. And it exposed a long-standing tension within the Cleveland media landscape. An unwillingness to embrace players who bring national attention, massive followings, or a family legacy that overshadows local coverage. Shedeur, with millions of supporters and a spotlight that follows him everywhere, immediately became a magnet for both admiration and resentment. What surprised many was not that the media exaggerated things, that has happened in every sports city, but that the lies were so coordinated, so identical, and so quickly debunked. When a false narrative collapses this fast, people start questioning the motives behind it.